Hey loved ones, it's me again. So it just occurred to me, let's spend just a couple minutes thinking about one small example of the difference between being mindful, being awake, to the implications of our actions on a moment-to-moment basis, and having those be in harmony with Mother Nature, in harmony with life, versus being completely asleep. And in some ways here in the Bliss verse, what do we talk about? That being asleep means that other people are running the programming. And we know that modern culture programming has a tendency to leave us unhealthy and unhappy, right? So when we become mindful, yes, there's a developmental process which can be for some people painful. But on the other hand, when you're actually programming yourself, think of it, you get to run the show. So does that mean you can program gratitude? Yes. Does that mean if you want to program happiness, you can? Yes. All right, anyway. So let's just talk about one small example of being awake and being asleep. So I'm leaving this Airbnb that I've been in Fort Myers, Florida for a month. And I was a little surprised when I went outside and I saw the following. And excuse me for the bad production quality of this video. I'm not adept at this stuff. Okay. Oh, I don't even want my naked feet out here. Look, I have naked feet. Always, almost. All right, what's this? I have naked feet on here. Oh God. Anyway, whatever. So what we're looking at is Roundup, which, just to let you know, non-biased, non-industry scientists have been saying, I think I can say decades, but at least for the past 10 or 15 years have been saying that this kills human beings and animals' gut biome. And we now know from the brain biome axis and everything else that ancient wisdom that is practiced in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, which said what? Your health is in your guts. What do they ask you? So how are you pooping? All that kind of stuff, right? Now, modern science, yay! Parts of it are waking up to the idea of how important the butt biome, the microbiome, bacteriaome, viral-ome is. So anyway, I come outside and they've just got Roundup right here. And I've watched way more than once yard people come and then they spray it all over this thing, which my naked feet, anyway, I'm not going to die. My naked feet, right? So that this doesn't have weeds grow in it. And then they spray it around that tree right there so that those rocks apparently don't have weeds growing in it. Right? Well, what happens in Florida, my friends? At least during some parts of the year, it rains like a mofo. Out of the sky just opens up, spit rains like this. Well, what happens? This floods. I've watched it happen. Enjoy, because I just lived in a desert for 30 years. Right? So I'm like in love with the rain. So then what happens? Roundup. Right? Oh, and the court cases now. So that's what I was saying. It's like, non-biased scientists have known for ages that this shit is one of the most toxic, horrific things that we have literally coded into almost the entire world environment. And it's killing people, and it's killing animals, it's killing insects. And here it is. All right, so it floods. It floods in the pouring rain. And then this floods. This floods, right? This whole area floods. This floods. And where does that go? That goes right in that freaking pool. Now, are the people that own this place bad? Hell no. And don't even go to a place of thinking that then I'm projecting that they're horrible people. They're people who are victims of modern culture. They're people who are running on programming that's so pervasive in modern culture that it's almost impossible to start to wake up. So what do I have? Compassion and empathy for them, right? And I'm not going to die just walking around with my naked feet a little bit. I've gone in the pool for a couple seconds, like twice, right? So we don't want to catastrophize the situation. But what we want to use this as a lesson in the Bliss verse, my dears, is that it's little actions like this that signify Are you doing little actions that move you toward mindfulness and joy and freedom to have your own programming? Or are you moving towards being asleep and being sick and being unhappy, right? And just doing small things like saying, you know what, I like really totally get it that my yard might visually look in some sort of standard which has been given to me, quote, better in a sense of judgment and control, rather than just letting nature be nature and honing it with maybe some sense of empathy and sympathy and harmony, right? That what we want to do is do things like, you know what, I've been reading that Bayer who bought Monsanto, who makes this fucking killer earth, anti-life killer bullshit. That what we want to do is we want to say, I've been reading in the paper that there's lawsuits now. Like, again, it's now mainstream. Bayer is in deep, deep, deep shit with their investors for buying Monsanto. Monsanto, it doesn't matter, so don't let me digress. A small thing like this, right? So start looking, how can I care for my yard in a way in which I'm being mindful, in which I'm being conscious, right? How can I take a shower in a way that I'm caring for my body and I'm caring for what goes the hell down the drain, right? To all the animals in the world and all the water streams and everything else. These small moments that you have can make an enormous qualitative difference about how quickly you can wake up, how painlessly, ideally, that you can wake up, is just looking around. It doesn't mean you have to change your whole life, but every day, if you notice something where you say, hey, I can do that better. I can do that in a way that shows my harmony with Mother Nature, who made this and gave this to me as a gift, right? It can be laundry detergent. It can be shit that you put on your face so you don't get wrinkly. It can be the car that you drive. I drive a truck, meaning, like I've noticed in Florida, apparently they don't have smog check. You want to get a tune-up so you're not spewing out all of that pollution? Yeah, maybe that's a way to just be loving to you, loving to Mother Nature, loving to everyone in your environment. It's going and getting a tune-up, right? So let's not make this too dramatic. One step at a time, loved ones. All right, I love you. Bye.